What do I say? Okay, wait. I gotta show y'all something. Yo, I bring this out in about a year, 2 years. All right? About 2 years. Y'all like that? Y'all like that? It is clean. Now, permanent part of the setup, okay? Permanent. And it's warranted. And y'all know it. All right, we're gonna get to the review. Hold on. How's it going, ladies and gents? One Piece chapter 1058 is out, and I have the pleasure of bringing my thoughts to you, and I appreciate you sticking around and listening because that means a lot to me. It means the world to me, especially with chapters like this where I have quite a bit to say. Now, I'm going to cut a lot of it out because when videos go too long, people say actually, that's not true. People like when I make the longer videos. So no more fluff. Let's talk about it. We read it. What did you think? What'd you think? Cover story. Caesar, he got away from Katakuri. Got him away from Katakuri, says he wants to go with them. Obviously, they're going to go with him, or they're going to take him with them because the connection Caesar has with Judge, Vince Smoke, Mads, the whole scientist group thing, it was somewhat expected. Still cool to see. Either way, let's move on to the actual chapter. Chapter starts off with the Straw Hats, some of our favorite moments in the crew or in the story when the Straw Hats are interacting, right? When they're having moments together, that's kind of what we fell in love with. And it was happening again this chapter, but it transitioned right into bounties. Before we talk about the bounties, I got to talk about Jinbei and Nami and Luffy. Luffy shouldn't have done that, right? We all agree Luffy should not have done that, but that's Luffy. That's why they love him. But Nami has him locked up in a cage, and Jinbei's like, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. Nami said, we keep him on a tight leash, okay? That's what goes on here behind the scenes, Jinbei. I'm not sure if you're going to know, you want to be a part of it, but this is what happens, okay? And Jinbei's like, oh, damn, did I make a mistake during this group? God damn. Jinbei's so shocked. He's like, is this Conqueror's hockey? What's wrong with this crazy? She's tripping. Either Frankie's like, never cross Nami when she gets mad. What? Bro, they're so weird. We love them. Either way, here comes the newspaper, right? And it delivers some amazing information because now we're in bounty territory. Listen, people are always going to blame everything I predict on spoilers, whatever. Even when you give a path as to what was going to transpire. We did not see Blackbeard this chapter, as I thought would be the case based on how Oda's written things in the past. No Blackbeard. However, we did see bounties. And mentioned in my previous video, the end of Enies Lobby pretty much highlights how this is going to play out. Someone comes, talks to them about bounties. On the way back while they're on the ship, bounties are delivered. They go through them, right? So that was fantastic to see. Insane, actually. But here we are. Straw Hat updated bounties post Wano. Here we go. Tony Chopper, 1,000 berry, a 900 berry increase. Thought it would double to 200. I mean, it went up to 1,000. It's Chopper. It is what it is. Navigator Cat Burglar Nami. She is now 366 million berry. She was previously 66 million berry, a 300 million berry increase. Next, we have Soul King Brook, 383 million berry, a 300 million berry increase as well. So 300 seems to be the theme here, except for Chopper. His was 900 mil, right? As I just said. Moving on. Frankie, 394 million berry bounty. Again, the theme continues. 300 million berry bounty increase, which is interesting because Chopper got a 900 million berry increase and the next three got a 300 million berry increase. So Chopper didn't get 900 mil. He got a 900 berry increase, like 900 berry, no mil. They got a 900 million combined increase. So there's just 9 here, 9 for the next 3. Then we move on to Usopp. He had 200 million berry previously. Now he has 500 mil. To add some context, people that had 500 mil, Portuguese DAs, right? Anel, Oda said if he was in the New World, if he came back, he would have 500 mil. This is a big deal. Usopp is at 500 mil. 500 mil. Next, we have the Devil Child. The archaeologist Nico Robin, she has a 930 million berry bounty. Previously, 130 million berry. So, Nico Robin, no one has an issue with her bounty and the increase as exorbitant as it is because we feel like her bounty should have been high to begin with. But the world government, they're finally starting to take it serious because the Sun God is out, right? So it's like, oh my gosh, he can actually do something with this. Yeah. Next, we have the big 3, the Monster Trio, the dynamic duo, and Sanji. Oh God. Jokes. Y'all know how much I like Sanji, so don't take it personal. Sanji, Jinbei, and Zoro. Those 3 bounties were revealed together. And Oda did a thing where he didn't even reveal all the bounty poster pictures in this chapter, if you noticed. We were so hype about the bounties, you don't even realize that we didn't see a lot of the pictures. Saw Nami, saw Frankie's. Where are the others? What are you hiding, Oda? What was he cooking? So first, Sanji. He has a 1,032 million berry bounty. Over a bill. higher than I expected. I said it was going to be around 800-900. Didn't think we'd get to a bill. I lowballed the heck out of a lot of these people, but you know, yesterday's price is not today's price, as we've been talking about on stream. Bounties are just going to be a lot higher now, right? We're in the end game. People are just going to matter a bit more. It's incredible. So 1,032,000,000. I'm not mad at it. I don't hate it. Again, I lowballed it, right? But I lowballed everyone. But considering where Jinbei was, Helmsman Jinbei, Knight of the Sea, 1,100,000,000 exactly. People are saying, I'll talk about what people are saying. But Jinbei being higher than Sanji, surprising. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I shook me because I expected, based off of things they accomplished, Sanji having the Vinsmoke clout. Seems like he lost that. He's back to black like Sanji. Sanji defeating a much stronger individual than Who's Who. The walking exposition dump, thought he'd get a bit more. And then for Jinbei, after I thought about it, it started to make sense. Jinbei was a former warlord, right? And the warlords, based on this chapter, how can you not respect them even more? They deserve and demand your respect. So the world government, they may be looking at it saying, hey, Jinbei, bounty is frozen for a long time. He's been serving under 3 Yonko. That's why they're calling him Jinbei Durant. Some people make it that. So Jinbei, even though, right, again, the strength and the difference here is negligible, even though I would think Sanji's stronger than Jinbei. Jinbei, in regards to accomplishments and things he's done, it makes sense for him to have a higher bounty than Sanji, even though I disagree with it. You can justify it, even though I don't agree. 1,100,000,000. Jinbei's a boss, and it's reflected in his bounty. But doing one better, we have Zoro, 1,100,000,001. He just won up Jinbei. And not gonna lie, I thought Zoro's would be higher. I thought Zoro would be around the 1,200-1,300 range. But here's what Oda did. Instead of having Sanji around 9, Jinbei around 6 or 7, Zoro around 13, he somewhat brought them all up to combine to roughly 3 bill. People are saying, like I was gonna reference earlier, but I wanted to get Zoro's bounty out. Zoro's bounty is based off of his birthday, 11/11, and Sanji's bounty is based off of his birthday, March 2nd. Jinbei's is just random, I guess because he's fish. I don't know. I said it out loud. Either way, the bounties are cool. Here's the brilliant thing about the bounties. It gives us an opportunity to see the Straw Hats again interacting, having a good time, reacting to different bounty raises, bounty increases, bounty decreases. I don't know if that's ever happened, but you get to see the Straw Hat personalities and somewhat even callbacks at times. In the chapter as well, Sanji is fuming, as he should, as I would be as well. I had to beat up this weirdo scientist. Freaking thought I heard a woman jumping all over Onigashima, and Jinbei just beat somebody that's just basically there for exposition and racism, and he gets a higher bounty than me. It's not that simple. Again, I understand Jinbei's clout and everything he's accomplished so far in his career. I mean, warlord, that's all you need to hear over a bill. But Sanji, I'm mad. Zoro, listen, Zoro fans had to endure this for years, where Sanji had a higher bounty than Zoro temporarily. We knew this wouldn't last. And Zoro comes back, and as much as I hate to say it to hurt the Sanji fans, things are kind of back to normal. The world is finally back in order. Right? This makes sense. Things Zoro should be higher for sure, based on everything he did, cutting Kaido, fighting on the rooftop. But this is apt. I'm not mad at it. The thing that I loved most about this moment, even more than the bounties, again, Zoro talking his smack, saying, yo, that's just sour grapes. Like, let's not listen to number 4, which for Sanji is probably going to hit a bit deeper because he was technically number 4 with the Vinsmoke, right? 3rd son, 4th kid. And Zoro's still calling him number 4. And you remember in Zoro when we went back to Return to Sabaody, Zoro was calling people by the time or the order in which they arrived. I love that. I love that whole gag because it just incites conflict among the crew. Not real conflict, obviously, but fun stuff, fun banter. And as the chapter goes on, we see Zoro and Sanji, because Sanji's throwing hands or feet. Talk to me nice. Don't talk to me that way, sir. The contrast of them fighting and Luffy just being stuck in that cage because of the dumb stuff he just did. Beautiful. I mean, the thing that popped up in my head is, okay, based on where they are, where are they going to go next? And I guess that's something you guys can answer in the comment section. Sphinx, Elbaf, or Hachinoso, or Full of Lead, Pirate Islands, Beehive, Blackbeard's territory. Where do you think the Straw Hats are going to go next? Once we find that out, I'm going to come back to this video, and if you did manage to choose the correct island, you then have the permission to subscribe to the channel. You knew it was coming. How you get caught by it? Subscribe to the channel, okay? Look down, make sure you are subscribed. Sometimes you watch videos, don't realize you're not subscribed. Subscribe, drop a like. Ow. God. Damn, that hurt. Drop a like if you are subscribed, and let's continue with this epic chapter. So, we then go to MT Bluffs Island in the New World. They start off saying, did you see that? Of course, he's the real deal. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 second. They start off saying, of course, he's the real deal. And of course, they're talking about Mihawk, okay? There was speculation about everything that transpired with Buggy becoming the person that's in charge of Cross Guild. It's like, bro, more than likely there's some weird shit going on. There was really weird information being spread. And seeing Crocodile and Mihawk having Buggy that way, it was incredible. Listen, even Mihawk saying to Buggy, listen, you dying doesn't even begin to make up for what's transpired here. Which for Mihawk, he is a lone warrior. He doesn't answer to anybody except the Royal Government when they gotta fight Whitebeard or like other Marines or other pirates. And they're holding him hostage, about to kill him because they want to know, why do people think we work for you? Riddle me that, Batman. These are three antagonists that we've been with in the past, and the contrast between Buggy and Mihawk and Crocodile is so enticing. I could not look away. I couldn't stop. I was like, this is gold. But the chapter keeps going. This chapter, right? Here's what this chapter made me feel, guys. And you can tell me if you feel the same way. If you felt the same way. This chapter made it clear to me that if Oda wanted to wrap up in 3 years, he'd have to make several more jam-packed chapters like this. This chapter kept going. It felt like 2 chapters in one. That's why I guess Oda's going on break. And this is how he can basically make up the distance. And Oda's talked about this before, saying that he, puts a lot of information into chapters. This chapter was loaded. Back to the topic at hand. Nostalgia does not begin to describe this chapter, because seeing Mr. 3 again working with Crocodile and Buggy's face, he's so torn up by the betrayal. It's like, how could you do this to me? He's like, listen, I never joined your crew, bozo. And then seeing Richie and Kabaji and then Mr. 1, Daz Bones, it was a pleasant sight. It felt like everything was coming full circle. All these characters that we were introduced to early in the story, Orangetown, Alabasta, Baratier, they were all coming back around, and it felt so damn good. So anyway, we get a flashback in regards to Mihawk and everything that transpired with him, right? So this is what I discerned. What was happening is that the world government, it kept sending ships. And initially I'm like, are they idiots? Why do they keep sending ships? Because, Mihawk is going to dispatch of them because of Mihawk's, his previous epithet, We'll talk about it a little later, but I thought that was idiotic. Then someone mentioned, well, numbers typically, that's how you overwhelm people. And Mihawk even got to a point where he's like, yeah, it's been a while since I was the hunted. And then he got old real fast. And he said, you know what, this is getting annoying. And then Crocodile hits him up at the right time saying, hey, there's nobody like us, we don't trust people, but trust me, So the weird thing here is that, and again, this could be just how I'm perceiving Crocodile, even when they're talking to Buggy, we know who the man is here. Crocodile's the man as well, but we know who the man is. So Crocodile was very careful, even though he was talking smack to Buggy, saying, hey, we didn't agree to this, right? You were supposed to report to us. It was never like, yo, this is me. He was like, yo, this is me and Hawkeye. This shows the respect he has for Mihawk. I just thought it was funny, right? When a guy is scared of the next guy, but he's kind of like a boss as well. So he's like, yeah, it was us. He's supposed to talk to us that way, That's the vibe I kind of got, but I understand. It's just a respect thing because he reached out to Mihawk and then tried to bargain with him. The thing with Mihawk, though, Oda's setting up for an amazing or crazy backstory where betrayal is important. There's a reason why he doesn't trust anyone. And Crocodile may know about it, or Oda may be using Crocodile for more exposition by him saying that, because Mihawk, he looked at it and is like, we don't trust anyone. Maybe they go way back. We don't know, but this is a hint as to what could come in the future. So I absolutely love this, okay? But the chapter does not end there. The next question I was asking is, wait, okay, Crocodile reaching out to Mihawk, sure. We understand why he's reaching out to Mihawk. How does Buggy get involved with this? Well, apparently Crocodile's going to Buggy because Buggy owes him money. And the reason why he's getting his money is because he's about to start an organization and he needed capital. I like when intricacies like this come up because this shows you how the world continues to operate. Money is king. And for Crocodile, capital is necessary. And knowing the ambitious venture that they had on the horizon, yeah, you're going to need a lot of capital for that. So it made sense there why he was going for Buggy, why he just destroyed all those marine ships. Is Crocodile. He has an amazing fruit, and he has his boy Daz Bones with him, where it just continues the narrative. Or made me think of Kaido when Kaido was going to pull up to Marineford. Oda said that King was with him. Just them moving with their right hands. It just feels good, So Buggy the Clown, he somehow talks his way out of owing Crocodile money, saying, yo, I already have all the resources to get things started that you're trying to do. I already have a business, I have couriers, I have printers, I have everything necessary. I will work my money back. I'll work my way back to earn it. Crocodile obviously agreed. Then Buggy pulls another stunt. Well, not Buggy, the people under him, because they created a cross-guild poster and sent it out. Buggy's guys did it because they adore Buggy so much. They saw Buggy and Crocodile coming to save him. They assumed he was under him. And so they put Mihawk and Crocodile under Buggy. And that's why they were going to kill him, because they're like, bro, I would never work under you. Well, that's what the world thinks now. And it confirms what Zoro and Luffy were saying. We're like, no, he's a moron. They would never. And parking Buggy, bro, parking Buggy. He's the GOAT. All right. Again, this led to some very important conversations within the Marines, because now they have to worry about cross guild. But this leads to us finding out so much information about some of these characters, especially Mihawk. So, of course, Buggy's bounty is bolstered by his connections. Former member of the Pirate King's crew, very close with Red here. They're assuming Crocodile and Mihawk are working under him. So it's a lot of clout and perception that comes with that, especially with that poster that's sent out by his people. It's the perfect way for misinformation to spread, and spread it did. They mentioned that the marine hunting movement has gotten backing from several shady organizations, like I was saying in the last review, guys, with Cross Guild. Not last week before that. This is great for shady organizations because if you get rid of the Marines, it's free game. So someone we mentioned is like, is Oda gonna somehow bring all the antagonists back together? Foxy, Wapple, who I think would be the perfect person to fund this, or even other shady organizations in the underworld, which leads us to, hey, does Crocodile and them go and try to get Doflamingo? He would be perfect in this thing. It'd be a callback to Marineford, and Crocodile or Doflamingo was trying to work with Crocodile. Now is Crocodile trying to work with Doflamingo. Fantastic, just fantastic. This leads to bounties for Crocodile, Mihawk, and Buggy. Crocodile's bounty, not gonna lie to you guys, a lot higher than I thought. Okay, but I think it's justified. Crocodile, with his history in the world, everything he's managed to accomplish, went to the bottom, built himself back up, escaped and fell down. He has the cachet to command this, and again, with the organization they're now in, the danger that comes with this, almost 2 billion berry bounty, insane. For the Crocodile fans, I'm a Crocodile fan. Not a Crocodile stan, but I'm a fan. A complete menace in Alabasta. I love it, and this makes this character, an old character, back relevant in the story. And it's like, okay, this is why Oda saves his characters for moments like this, and I love it. Now, let's move on to Mihawk. I'm sorry, I'm losing. I did so much screaming during the live reaction.
Wait, Jinbei's higher than Sanji? Who's next? Robin Chan 930? Zoe said, forget him. Just leave number 4. Yeah! The stocks are high! Oh my gosh!
I think I'm losing my voice. Now it brings us to Hawkeye, Dracule Mihawk. So they start this out by saying, and I quote, his fellow former warlord, Hawkeye Mihawk, has even greater sword skills than the red-haired emperor. He's worth 3,590,000,000 berry, a fitting total for the world's greatest swordsman. Here's the crazy part about this. Let's break down a bit more what they said about Mihawk, okay? First off, they gave Buggy a 3 billion bounty as well. 3,189,000,000, higher than Luffy, which for Luffy, we know they're trying to keep him down because he's a sun god, and they're like, just bring him down to kid-in-law. We know he deserves like 6 bill, but let's keep him at 3 for now. Crazy part about this, Buggy, they acknowledge, is the leader of the organization, 3,100,000,000. Mihawk, who is technically his underling, 3,500,000,000. Nobody gets that. That doesn't happen. Where the subordinate has a higher bounty than the leader. Okay, if you're not a Mihawk believer, if you weren't before, if this does not convince you, you're a hater. You're a hater. You're just a hater, bro. I don't know what to say. It does not even end there, because Mihawk goes on to talk about basically becoming a Yonko. He doesn't care about it. As a lot of us speculated, Mihawk does not give a damn about becoming or being a Yonko. He's like, as long as I'm able to live in peace, that's all that matters. Which, you know, you could make headcanon or make up headcanon about his upbringing and his childhood, but he doesn't care about any of that extracurricular stuff. All that really matters to him is peace. He's like me, bruh. For real. Eventually, they obviously didn't kill Buggy because they're saying they're going to leave him with a target on his back, and they're just going to basically be in the shadows for the most part. If anything goes wrong, they just chalk him up or kill him or hand him to the world government. But they're like, you know, this is a different angle. This is all we can do right now and take right now. Mihawk's like, I don't care about becoming a Yonko. I just want to live in peace, which confirms a lot of the fan theories that Mihawk is basically Shanks without a crew. And for Mihawk having a 3 billion berry bounty, 3,500,000,000 bounty, not that far off from Shanks, without any of the things that make you a Yonko for the most part. Now he has somewhat of a crew, a guild. His intent is a lot more dangerous than Shanks because, oh, I forgot to mention, he was known before as the Marine Hunter. So Mihawk was a Marine Hunter. Then they started to pay him to stop beating their ass. That's the end of the Cross Guild story. There's more to talk about, but I'm going on for a long time. So let's get to the end of the chapter where we talk about the revolutionaries. Coming back to Kingdom. The first thing I noticed was Bella Betty's titties just almost falling out. Either way, it seems like mostly everyone is back in Coming Back in Kingdom. Sabo's in there, and they're talking about Sabo. And of course, they're talking about Cobra being dead, and we see Dragon. Love seeing Dragon. It's a different type of intensity when he's there. He's not happy. Even though Sabo's alive and he's happy about that, he's like, if he did kill Cobra, he would not forgive him. And I'm assuming Dragon and Cobra, they know each other. Dragon's been around. Cobra's a good person. And Dragon, being as well-traveled as he is, he should know that. And he's saying if Sabo did that, he will never forgive him. And then, you know, we see Kuma as well. And there's so many theories going around about Kuma because he called Dragon Master. So a few things. One person was saying Vegapunk programmed him to recognize Dragon, so he will serve Dragon. And so that's like a lot of the pacifistas. Secondly, he is calling him Master because he's a fallen celestial dragon and Kuma is programmed to listen to any celestial dragon. And the third one, he's just an idiot, and anyone who's in front of him is Master at that point. So I'm probably leaning towards one or two, where anyone who's in front of him is Master. That's kind of what I'm leaning to. But it's very interesting stuff. Koala's reacting to everything Dragon is saying because she's like, damn, like, what do I do? And the perspective I had as well was that, okay, I understand Dragon's perspective. For sure. But Sabo has given the revolutionaries more momentum than they've ever had, causing revolts all over the world. And so with him calling here at the end, he's like, yo, this is Sabo. Marines are listening in. What happens next? I have an idea of what Sabo could do, but I'll talk about that in a separate video. You guys gotta wait and check that out. Very interesting stuff. Could there be dissension within the revolutionaries? We have the more radical revolutionaries, and you have Dragon, who's more calculated. Want to wait a bit. Take your time. We don't know. Either way, next chapter is going to be insane in a couple weeks because we're on break. God, it was frustrating to hear. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I didn't take it well, but I get it. Again, this is probably my longest review ever by myself. It deserves to be longer, but we're gonna cut it off here, okay? Give me your thoughts, guys. How do you feel about the chapter? Jam-packed flurry of goodness. Follow me on Twitter. The conversation continues there. We're tweeting memes. We're going back and forth. We're talking about Shanks and Mihawk, which we will talk about at some point. We're on break, so we have a lot of opportunities to talk about stuff. And then also share your thoughts on Instagram. Instagram Live tomorrow. Look out for that. Unfiltered review. Unfiltered review will be in the membership tab. No cuts. Straight up BS. So yeah, guys can look out for that. But yeah, that's about it. Mihawk is changing from you boys and girls. I wonder if he's doing the same for you.
I start doubting me, I felt lost. I rewrite it.